everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid, and we're here again for the weekly forecast of the universal energies for this week of May 12th. And we have a very special video blog today because I'm interviewing the queen of the law of attraction, Christy Whitman, who's going to give us all some advice about how to handle these universal energies for this week. So it's totally awesome. So I shuffled the cards and let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, not so bad. Okay, we'll pick, that's the Horse King. The second card is the Sun Dancers. And card, this one's hot. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. Ooh, goody, goody, the map maker of destiny. I know I sound like a child, but it's about time we have a breakthrough, yes. This is a breakthrough week, and who knows, maybe Mars retrograde is over this week. I don't know, I haven't looked, so at least we're getting close. So let me tell you what these cards actually mean for all of us. So the Horse King mixed with the Sun Dancers and the map maker of destiny tells us a number of things. One, that we have reached a breakthrough and we have people, places, things, opportunities around us that can actually help us. This week it'll be obvious to all of us, there's help here, are we going to take it? The second thing is about joyful activity. In other words, bringing gratitude and joy forward in everything that you actually do. This also talks about abundance and being grateful for abundance. It also reminds us to see that abundance, be willing to look for it instead of looking at the hole in the donut. Make sure you look at the donut, or instead of seeing the glass half full or half empty, the whole thing is full. Half of it's air, half of it's water, totally full with two different things. It's a matter of how our attitude is this week. And the map maker of destiny, oh my God, it means that when we're in our authentic lane, when we're really looking at the world in front of us and seeing ourselves in relationship to that as our service, as our authentic service, pushes us forward and allowing ourselves to be inspired by that and compelled by that into the world, we really do hit the mark of our destiny. And things this week are starting to fall into place. I would not be surprised if you're watching this, that this week you're going to get a phone call, you're going to hear about something you've always wanted start to happen for you, opportunities that you've been waiting for are there, and you're going to start to see doors opening. And I believe that's for everybody right now. We are in this amazing change. All of us are in that. We're moving. We still have to self-reflect like we've been talking about the past month, but it's different now. Now it's really about what's in front of us. What are we compelled to do? Are we being authentic? Are we willing to get help? And Christy Whitman has some great advice about that for you too. So let's have a warm welcome to Christy Whitman. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you so much for having me here, Colette.
Oh, I'm so excited. So I read your book. It was really brilliant. You know, you've always intrigued me. I've always wanted to get to know you a little bit better, too, so I've got to, you know, I kind of invited you on so I can be friends. Yay. How did you get so successful? I mean, you came at this from a very different place than where you ended up. So I know your school is brilliant. The Quantum Success Coaching Academy is amazing. You know, everything that you teach is really radical. You're probably, I'd say, the best person out there that really knows what the law of attraction really means and what it's about. So how did you get into it?
Well, you know, when I found law of attraction, it was about 18 years ago, and it was one of those things, I think how most people come to law of attraction. I was just in a horrible place in my life. I was 30 pounds overweight, $60,000 in debt. I kept going from one bad guy to after another bad guy. And I followed the last bad guy from Chicago to California. So I'm in Northern California. I have no support system. I have no family, no friends. I quit my job because I couldn't stand doing it anymore. And I had to literally live in a room in a very strange woman's house because I had no options for a roommate. I couldn't afford my own place at the time because Northern California was a little bit more expensive, you know. And so I was just like, what have I, look at my life. Like, why has my life become like this? And it's one of those moments when you ask those questions that I met a woman that taught me about meditation and taught me about, you know, the basic principles of the universal laws of law of attraction, that your thoughts create your reality. And we're either repelling or we're attracting, you know, things to us all the time by what we think, how we feel. So I started paying attention to my thoughts, and I was like, oh my God, no wonder. I mean, no wonder, because I was so critical about myself, about the universe. I was like in a boxing ring with God constantly,
right?
You know, and in a boxing ring with myself constantly. So I was just very negative within, and I just started changing things. I first started thinking about my body differently, and it was amazing. So I was like, weight just dripped off of me, because it's the first manifestation we have in this lifetime is our body. So it responds so quick to when we change our thoughts about it.
Yeah.
You know, our manifestations change. And then I met I actually got recruited from another corporate company. I moved to Sacramento, met a really amazing guy I was in an 8-year relationship with. So it's like things just started, you know, moving down the track. And then one day, all of a sudden in a meditation, I received my book, Perfect Pictures, which is my very first book. And publishing that got me on the track of speaking and then coaching people. And I didn't even know it was coaching at the time. You know, it's like I was in a speaking engagement. I would just be talking with people and I'm seeing them shift. And then people were asking me, well, can you coach me on what you're doing? And I didn't charge a fee or anything. I'm like, yeah, give me a call, you know. So they would get on the phone with me, and they were like, their lives were changing and transforming. And I thought, wow, this is really something, you know. Even though I wasn't making money at doing it, it's like this is really helping people, and more people that I was working with. Like I was a sales rep at this point. I had such major success in what I was doing and applying the universal laws as I understood them at the time, you know, to what I was doing. And my fellow people on my team were like, what are you doing? How are you winning all these awards and these huge bonuses? So I started coaching them, and then they started moving up in the ranks. So I just realized that, you know, this information is so misunderstood, and I'm just literally a student of the universal laws. So what I do is I apply it, I learn about it, I make mistakes with it, I learn about it, and then I share it. And, you know, when people can at least benefit from what I've learned and the mistakes I've made, it cuts their learning curve down.
Right.
And then they can start manifesting what they want.
See, I love that you started with that generosity. You know, you didn't know where it was going to go. You were just really super enthusiastic about that. That's kind of how I started too. But what I love, because I know where you are now, you know, and with this extraordinary coaching academy and, you know, the work that you do, the books that you write right now, you know, you're going to launch a new book in the fall. It's going to be fantastic. I think it's the fall, right?
February, yeah.
Oh, February. Okay. But yeah. We're going to talk about it lots more till then. So, you know, and I love that you said that you didn't come from this, like you didn't come from this perfect place. You know, people see somebody like you who's so successful now, they don't understand that you came from this place where you were overweight, like you said, and not doing well and choosing the next actually perfect guy from the way you were thinking, right? Because when you really look at it, the law of attraction states that what you think, you know, what you resist persists, but also what you think and how you feel, especially elevated emotion, you're going to see coherently in the outer world what it is that you're repeating. So, and I also love that you mentioned that about your body, because I believe, just like you do, that, you know, everything physical responds to the thought. So you lost, right? And you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what's amazing is that with this practice, I went down to a size 4, which my body seems to just love that. You know, I say size 4, but you know, it's like that. My whole closet is like full of size 4, and that just seems to be where my body wants to be. And then I got pregnant.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I then came back organically to size 4. And then I got pregnant again.
Wow.
And then I came back. So I had 2 children, and, you know, within a very short period of time, they're 16 months apart. And when I was back in alignment with myself, or when I, you know, stayed in alignment with myself, I should say, and with thoughts were of feeling good about myself, even though I was pregnant and I had a big belly, you know, all that, I was able to just naturally, you know, create my body again from a place of the law of attraction, being aligned and being happy and satisfied with who I am and what my body, appreciation for what my body offers.
Don't you notice too that the more satisfied and happy you are with yourself, the more amazing things come?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's the highest vibration. One of the highest vibrations in the universe is appreciation and gratitude. And you know, it gets me sometimes, because most people think, well, I'm being appreciative and I'm being grateful, but they're so in their head about it. Like, yeah, I appreciate that. And it's like, it's not appreciation and gratitude doesn't come from the head space. It comes from the heart and the belly and the emotions and feeling like, you know, I teach my kids, like, you know, what's important to me is obviously appreciation and gratitude and making sure that they cultivate that within themselves. And so if I give them or something, or I help them out with something, if they need help, and they're like, thanks, and they, you know, they're like, I'm like, whoa, 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 look at me in the eyes, go in your heart, and then come from that place. And, you know, it shifts them, and the energy changes. And it's like, and now I want to help you more because I feel seen, I feel heard. Universe is the same way. It's like if you're giving all these gifts and you're like, yeah, whatever, thanks. You know, it's like, I'm going to give to someone over here. You know, it's like it's the more appreciation and gratitude you can not just head but feel in your heart and your belly and really exude that. The more people, like in my business, I've been so successful because of the people that surround me and the support team I have. And I do that in my business, even manage my business and work with people from that space because it comes back. They want to serve. They want to help. They're committed. They're loyal. All that.
I love that. That's so great. So the universal energies for this week, I had chosen the map maker of destiny, the sun dancers, and the horse king. And what that meant for everybody was that we're under an umbrella of a particular energy. And this week, we've kind of broken out of that sort of push, not being able to move forward too quickly and needing to do a lot of self-reflecting, which Mars retrograde had brought us. And we're kind of out of this. I think we're getting close to coming out of it, unless we are out of it already this week and I didn't look. But it does feel like there's a break now and that people's destiny is starting to show up now. Yes, all these seeds that I planted years ago are starting to come to fruition now. I notice that with a lot of people. And I'm seeing that the desire for joy and also joyful activity, I think that's in alignment with what you just said about being grateful and appreciative, because I think that's important. But the Horse King also presents an issue that asks people to get assistance. And I don't think everybody is willing to do that, or I think a lot of people think they're the only ones that have to do it. What kind of advice would you give, given that we know about the universal laws? What would you give to people this week, knowing that it's a week to really claim your destiny, be joyful, and get assistance? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, I always like to say this, you know, we all have our core gifts. We all have, you know, our skills that we do. And say if you're running a business, for example, I'll just use that as an example. In my business, my gifts and my skills are, you know, teaching, writing, and, you know, creating. Like I'm really good at creating programs and creating books and, you know, writing and those kind of things. What I'm not good at is website stuff. Or, you know, editing my final, like proofing and things like that, my final writing, or, you know, just other things that are doing social media or any of these other things. I have a team, and I didn't start out this way, but it's like I have a team now that supports me. And I remember feeling like, you know, doing all these follow-up emails and doing all this kind of stuff is taking away from me coaching. It's taking away from me, you know, teaching. And so could I hire someone that could actually automate things for me? And so the first person I hired with my company, just part-time, was someone that could manage my email list. And then if I needed something sent out, she would send it out. And that freed up time for me. That allowed me to start, you know, coaching more. Because this time was now, even though I was paying her a certain amount of money, say I'm paying her $70 an hour, I'm getting paid this is years ago, I'm getting paid $150 an hour, I'm still making a profit. And yet it's giving me more time to do that. So we need to start thinking in that way, because a lot of times people think, well, I can't afford to hire someone, or I can't afford that support. And, you know, even if it's just a babysitter at home, to allow you time to do what you need to do for spring cleaning and organize yourself. That new flow of energy is going to bring more stuff in, and you may pay that babysitter $40, $60, whatever it is, but it's like, think about how much more can come into your life. So look at the areas in your life where you are wanting, you feel you need a little bit of assistance, and think about the characteristics and the qualities of someone that you would want. That's always important to know. We do a strategic attraction plan in the QSCA. It's like whether you want a client, whether you want someone to support you in your business, when you know what kind of qualities and characteristics, you know, that's really good to know. And then it's like, who do you need to become? What kind of energy do you need to hold on to? What essence do you need to give out to the universe to be a vibrational match to that person?
This is awesome. This is such good information. Oh my God, my fans are gonna love you. Don't you love her? Isn't she awesome? Of course she is. This was excellent advice. Thank you, Christy. I'm so happy that you came on this week. And if you will come on again sometime and chat with everybody, I would love it.
I love chatting with you, Colette. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye, Christy. Thanks. Okay, guys, we're done. It was so awesome to have Christy Whitman on today. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you listen to her, what she said. It's very, very important, everything she said. Bye. Okay, so those of you who have been watching the video blogs every week for the past month, you notice I have this very, very cool webisode at the end called The Adventures of the Motorcycle Mystic. Well, guess what? I will come to your house on my Harley to do a reading for you. Yes, indeed. The only catch? You have to live within a 75-mile radius of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and send us in an awesome story about why I should come to your house. And then we're gonna pick a few of you and make arrangements to come over. How do you like that? Okay, so you guys are gonna come with me. I'm going to pick up my new motorcycle parts. Oh my God! Oh my God! You see the moon? I'm a moon!
Hey everybody, I'm so excited. I'm here to pick up my bike. I'm at Seacoast Harley. Wow, this is so cool! Oh my God!
There's your baby.
My baby. He's single. Just for you all know, you girls out there, this man, I'm gonna help him find a woman.
Don't you love this? Woo! Bye!
Traveling down the road, I didn't know that I was lost. I had tried too many shortcuts, and the cost left my heart broken.
Yeah, and a little bit of
So
the
I
business
had
side, your
it
parents will probably
all
hate me
for
for
a
putting this
bit.
up on. No. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Wandering in my desert, your oasis appears. You're like a long, cool drink of water. I'm thirsty, that's clear when I taste you. I know you, I know you, I do. So can you feel it? Tell me, I need to know. Do you remember? Don't it feel like coming home? In your eyes are like the sea as it reflects the summer sky. You know I remember sailing there in some other life in your ocean. I'll swim till the end of time. You know that fate has got her own ideas. No matter what we plan, I know she weaves a spell around me when I am touching your hand. I'm touching your hand. So can you feel it? Tell me, I need to know. Do you remember? Don't it feel like coming home? So can you feel me? Tell me, I need to know. And can you hear me? you to come home.